Hello and welcome back to Carnation Crafts TV. We are back with another hour of the customer's choice this time, and it's the Holly Jolly pop-up card set that we've got for you. It's a phenomenal value, this one as well, because you have got everything in there to make a complete card for you. And like I say, very busy earlier on this morning when we were on with it, and any questions, email in, message in to us and let us know you're there. But as you can see, this has been the customer's choice. It's a fabulous one. We don't bring you the customer's choice ones all the times, but with this you've got a lot of metal in there to make this incredible detailed, like Christmas tree style that you've got there. But it could be like a church, it could be whatever you want it to be. If I turn this around, I'll show you how much metal you have actually got in here. You've got the main frame, and then you've got all the sentiment bits for you as well, and then you've got all the mechanisms. But you can see super size as well, so a nice large size. It's going to be a feature card, and remember, you can make and sell with this. And when it's an actual Crafters Select, this always comes at a fabulous price. So for $22.99 for a special show price, this is a great one to grab. So if you're wanting to treat yourself, or just just something different with your die cutting, this could be a great one for you. It's all available on Carnation Crafts website, so do hop over there. You can scan the QR code at the bottom, or just pop it in your search engine and you'll be able to find everything on there for you. Now let's show you some finished examples, because the design team always do an amazing job. But this is what we're talking about. You can make that designer finish card, and you'll find a lot of your vignettes that you've already got will actually work with this as well. But you've got that lovely design to the card, to the front and the back, and obviously the shape. You aren't going to need any fancy size envelopes. These will fit in your standard, like the wide DL card envelopes, things like that. You can pop those in there. But this, I know it says Christmas, do you know what I mean? But I do feel, depending on how you decorate it, you could use this shape all year round. And look at this. This one's even been cut in black cardstock. You can go really striking with it, or your navies, your sangria cardstocks, things like that you've got at home. And also your hammered cardstock that we brought to you last time I was here with the Clean and Simple. This would look fabulous. But as you can see, all the different artwork is probably collections that you've got from before. What a beautiful way now to elevate your cards and make something different. These are absolutely precious, and like I say, a lot of you have absolutely gone crazy for these this morning, and I'm not surprised. That is a fabulous price to get the quality and the designer aspects that you're getting with your Carnation Crafts dies. Now let's take a look at the boards so we can show you exactly what you will be getting. So like I say, you get your main frame die. It will actually cut the shape of the card out. You get the fretwork, and these lines here are score lines, so it's going to put all the score lines in, so then you don't have to measure or anything. Everything is there for you. Then you've got your triangles. These you could actually use a separate bunting, but you've got the panels to either put on the front or to put on the back, or one front, one back, so you can encase it, so you've got different styles. Then you've got the mats and layers, which again would be so difficult to try and cut, believe you me. But with this, you've got all the panels to be able to pop that on there and make it fabulous. Then you've got your plaques, you've got your frames to put your sentiments on, or it could be artwork, whatever you want to do. Then you've got your mechanism. This goes on the inside of your card, and this actually then just makes that little stand. So this protrudes forward, so you could put your sentiments on there. It could be imagery or whatever you want it to be. And your characters and things like that, like your little mice or your sentiments, that will work so well. So this is what it looks like when it's cut out. Look at the embossed detail and the cut lines you have got all the way around here. It's going to give you an exquisite look towards all your projects. And then all you have to do is just fold back on the score lines, and then it will literally pop back. So then you have got this shape, and that will give you that really fabulous designer look for all of your cards, and then make and sell. That's what it's all about with these, because now you can take it to whatever level you want. And like I say, I know it is hollies and berries and things like that in the background, but if you did cut it in white, it would just look like foliage. It depends what colours you cut this in. And then obviously I would probably be using this all year round, because obviously it stands a little bit like a frame style. You could put a photograph in the front, so weddings, things like that. It's got that beautiful look about it. $22.99 for that one. If you are wanting to get this one, it is on the website waiting for you, so head over there for the Crafters Select. It's the first time I've ever brought a Crafters Select to you. I have seen them, but I've never had the chance to bring one, and I have to say they are very, very exciting. If you just want that little bit of a treat for yourself on a Monday, this would be a great collection, or even a present for a crafty friend, or just for yourself. This is a great price to grab. So over 30% of the stock has already gone, so please make sure you check out as fast as you can. Now, let's take a look at this. So as I said to you, it cuts it all out in one. You don't have to worry. Then all you're going to do is crease the top bit back, and this bit at the front, you crease that forward. Okay, then once you get the crease and you start gently creasing this in, these lines will then crease down. All you have to do is just press them. Sometimes I do actually burnish them with the edge of my scissors or a tool, and then you can make sure that they press in, so that instantly will just give you your shape. So you've got that instant look with that one. Right, I've got a bit of a warning for you all. We are now approaching 50% of the stock. They've literally just come running through and gone, oh Lord, since we've been off air, it is now approaching 50% of the stock. That's how busy we are. This is the last show I've got with this today. And obviously later on, I'm not doing it to frighten you, I'm being honest with you. If you want this at this fabulous show price, $22.99, you need to be getting it now. So please do that as fast as you can, because I won't want to miss out. I must admit, I was like, ooh, you know what I mean? So we've had a lot of people, you know, message in and say how much they like it, and I know you will too. Now, these are your panels. You can't get them mixed up, because obviously it will only kind of fit one way. So do not worry. These then, like I say, I've got all that detail on it, and then I've just added a little bit of foam on a roll just to lift it and elevate it. But a lot of you have got different papers and things like that. We have got the hammered cardstock on the show that is going to make it fabulous if you for your base cards and things, because it's a great weight, a 280. So yes, you could use that. Also, we've got cut tidy. Now that is something, if you ever seen me do any of my shows, doesn't matter whose dies I'm cutting or what I'm doing, if I'm die cutting, I will always use it. So that is something we'll talk about later, but it is on the show. So if you need to stock up time is really upon us. So get some of that. Now with this one, I've got different elements that we're going to use now just to build up this different design. But look how gorgeous these are. I've got lots of different pieces, and then we can feed this in, and we're just going to decorate the front of it for you. So using a little bit of my glue gel, we're going to take elements of that, and then, like I say, we're going to build this up either sides with the flowers. So just taking this and just adding a little bit of glue to the bottom. I'm using the Pinflair glue just to add that little bit of detail on there. That one's a little bit too long, so I am just going to cut that away. But this is the beauty of it, because obviously a lot of you will have bits left over. Don't be frightened to get them out, and like with this one, because it was a little bit too long for what I wanted, I've snipped it away so I can tuck it behind, so then you're decorating both the sides. So I like to do that, but I still tuck it in behind, because then it just gives me that little bit of dimension. So nothing is wasted. So just think of that box of, you know, your vignettes that you've got that's just sat there waiting and crying to be used. This could be your time to use it. Now I'm just going to add this into here. I use Pinflair glue, especially when we're demonstrating like this, because it gives me wiggle room. Plus it gives me time then as well just to pop and slide bits in. If I don't like where it is, I can take it out. But obviously overnight to let it dry. But if you want to use your foam pads, you do that as well. It's up to you. But I, like I say, like to do it a little bit different sometimes and just thread little bits in. But, you know, horses for courses, everybody is different. But thank you so much to everybody being with us again today. It's lovely to be with you all. like I say, I love the surprise calls when I get them and say, could you possibly? I'm like, yes, put me in. I like to come and see you all on Carnation TV. So I know the team probably have their head in the hands when I arrive, but, you know, it is nice to know. They were panicking this morning. They were like, oh, she's normally here by now. There was a little bit of a hold up, so that's why I was a few minutes. But I'm never late. I'm always early, and that's why they were panicking, I think, because they were like, where is she? So just adding these in, as you can see, I'm building as I go. You can add as much fullness to this or as little as you want. But when you've got extra bits like this left over, this is just going to really make it more cost effective, because the bits that you've printed out, you've already printed and used them. You're now just cutting into them and making them work for your projects. So really nice. The florals, if you're wondering where these are from, like lovely June who emailed in earlier and wanted to know, this is from Christmas Awaits. So if you want to know where they're from, they're from that collection, which, like I say, really popular. I know a lot of you had that collection, so grab that out your little stash and, you know, have a look what bits you've got left. I'm just adding one of the bows to the top as well. And then I've got a couple of the flowers. Again, I always bend and twist these because, like with this one, I wanted it to look more like you're looking into a little garden. You know what I mean? And you've got that beautiful decoration at the back. And then I've got this bit to go on this side just to give it that little bit of a decoupage feel to it without going too mad. But yeah, this will fit in one of your wide DL envelopes, so you haven't got to worry. And then what I would recommend is, before you obviously let it dry, before you post it, give it a really good squeeze on the actual folds, and then this will stand up beautifully like that. Obviously let your glue dry, because I've used Pinflair, so things will slide about a little bit. Just be aware of that. But look how that's dressed it. Nice little tea light in there. Or what you could do, you could actually, you know, if you've got some cellophane, I would put like little chocolates in there, you know, like the little Roche days, shall we say, and I would do a cardboard square. I'd cut a cardboard square base, probably about the size of that, put it in the bottom, stand that in, put the little Ferrero Rocher, whatever you've got, cellophane round the top. That could be like a little chocolate gift as well on tables, you know, table presents. That would be nice for you as well. So you can see, you know, Christmas Day, or even, do you know what would fit in there, I reckon? Obviously this is a bit big, but if you've got a miniature bottle of gin and wrap cellophane round it, little miniature bottle, because they are smaller than that, I'd put a little, you know, for the guys, put a whiskey, and then for the girls, I'd put like a little gin or something like that in there. They'd be super cute with cellophane round. So think of like little presents and prizes if you're doing like tombola and things like that for school charities and things. Obviously not the alcohol for the kids. I'm just putting it out there. But, you know, for prizes for mums to win and dads, they'd be beautiful. So much functionality to this, and they just look incredible. So this one is the Jolly Holly pop back card shaped die set, $22.99. You're getting all the dies you're going to need to make that collection. Obviously the embellishment is down to you, whatever you want to use on it, but as a staple foundation die set that is going to give you that beautiful shape, that is going to be absolutely beautiful. Now let me show you the cut tidy. If you've never seen this before, it's a special piece of, like, I'm going to say it, it's like plastic, and you can use it over and over again. And when you are die cutting, I'm just seeing if Miss Laura's left a piece under here used. No, but you use this and it acts like a special shim. It helps to remove it from your die a lot quicker. Plus as well, if you're using like 350 GSM cardstock, that's not the optimum weight. It's a little bit too thick, but if you use this, it makes it cut like a hot knife through butter. So if you're using your glitter cards, your mirror boards that are slightly thicker, this is a godsend. But I use this, it doesn't matter whose dies I use this. So let's start with the sizes. This is A4, and these are like a pack of 4, but it is like, it opens up like a double-sided. So this is your cut tidy. You get a pack of 4 in this, and you can use it multiple times until it disintegrates basically. But it is super thick, and it's the only thing, like I say, I would highly recommend. And I, as you know, I don't work for Carnation Crafts. I am separate. I don't have to use this, but you will see me on a lot of the other shows that I do on Hobby Maker and things like that. This is great. Now they're both $9.99 each, so you get 4 in that, but like I say, it's like double. So technically you're kind of getting 8 in there, I'm just saying, but it's a double, but you can cut them up. This one is a pack of 10. This is your A5, and because it's A5, it's half the size, you can open it up and then it does make an A4. I'm just being honest, but you got full instructions on the back. You can actually encase your cardstock inside it, so you open it up, put your card inside and then put the die on the top, or use it like I always do, and then literally I put my die, my cardstock, and then I put a layer of this over the top, run it through my die cut machine, and it gives me the perfect cut every single time. I have used this for absolute years. Even before I started helping Carnation Craft, this was something I always used. So honestly, have a little look for this one. So really, really great. $9.99 each if you want to have a look at those. And shall we show you the cardstock? Now, just to show you, I was saying about this in the earlier show, this is the hammered cardstock. Okay, I brought this to you on the Clean and Simple show last time. You get 50 sheets, but it has got that soft, like cloud-like, like watercolour cardstock kind of texture. It's not watercolour, but it's got that texture. So if you're wanting something with some depth or texture, you know, like when the wind blows and the snow kind of, it's not flat or smooth. It's got like those slight little like bumps to it. It looks like that. So for this card shape, it would be phenomenal. Plus, if you haven't got any embossing folders, it's going to be brilliant. 280 GSM, A4 in size, and that is 50 sheets. So great for card blanks or card bases. So make sure you check that out as well. I think these 14. I think they're $14.99 on the website. So when you go across the website to purchase your Jolly Holly die set, have a look. Yeah, we're right. They're $14.99. So when you go over on the website, you know, on the drop down, have a look at cards, glues, adhesive, and put those in. And we have also, if you didn't want 50 sheets, thinking that's way too much, we do 20 sheets for $9.99 if you just wanted to try it. But because of the weight, $2.80, it's still a great weight for your card blanks and things like that. So we have got those as well. Let's get another little demo, shall we? So let's take this one out. So again, with this one, we've got a lot of detail and design, and like I say, lots and lots of little bits that I've pinched from other little bits that I've been sent, and I've got stashed away from other collections. You know, when I walk in the office and I go, oh, that's nice, can I have a couple of those? And you know, they seem to come home with me, shall we say. So this one, just to show you, this is actually cut out of that hammered cardstock. Can you see? So it's got that slight texture to it. So it's not super, super smooth. It's got that lovely texture to it. So again, with your die set, pull the front bit up first of all and put your crease in it. Then the back bit, you're going to crease that back and then push it together. And like I say, this then will just give you that nice, sharp, crisp curve. And once it's there, that's what helps it to stand up. So bear that in mind. With this as well, if you wanted to, like I say, you could use your colour pens on there, you could tint it, whatever you want to do. Like I say, with these panels, I never put them on flat because I think with this little bit of elevation, with a foam on a roll, this just really gives it to you. So try it if you want to. If you want it flat, if you're thinking, oh, I want to save my foam on a roll, I get that. But do you know what? This, it just really finishes and polishes your card. If you're wanting that polished look, this is definitely the way to go. Now with these, if you cut them out, like I've got bits ready, you could have a bag of like all your different vignettes that you've cut up and things like that. Cut all these out, because like I say, that's one pass of the machine. One pass, that's your shape. And then if you're wanting coloured bits, one pass with those, that's done. So you're not cutting out lots and lots of different bits. And I know lots of you have got bags and boxes full of your vignettes. So you know what we like? We could start printing and then we cut in, and then we always kind of have extra bits left over. So don't be frightened to use them up on this. So again, just taking these elements off. This is on your Perfect Papers. I think this is from a Christmas collection as well. I don't know which one, I'm going to be honest. I'm not quite sure. Don't quote me. I'm not quite sure. Now with this one, what I've done is taken this beautiful wreath that we've got, and all I've done is found like the center point more or less of the die, because I want this to sit on here. Can you see? So that now is going to dress that beautiful design of the card. So let's take some glue. Hopefully my glue's nice and warm now. Oh dear. I spoke too soon, didn't I? I left it in here and I thought, oh, it'll be warm, it'll work. Right, let's try this one. Oh, there we go. I got glue. We've got glue. It's fine. The tops aren't bunged up. I've checked. I've had a look at them. So all I'm doing is just adding a tiny bit of glue just to grab that top bit, so then I can line up this bottom bit. So that's just going to sit there, and I like that it hangs off the side of the card, so don't be frightened to have some bits that actually do hang off the side of the card. Then all I'm going to do is take my little glue applicator and we're just going to put a little bit down either side, okay? And this then is just going to give you that little bit of shape on there as well. So just pulling that down, that's going to sit on there too. But because we've creased it before it goes on, it's going to keep that crease of the card. Then all we're going to do is little bits here, we're going to pinpoint it, glue point it as they say. So all I'm doing is little areas to catch it. I don't want it all to be stuck down because again it make it too rigid and then you don't get any movement or play when your card is open or shut. So this now is going to sit like that. So just holding this in place, make sure it's dry. This is a low water content glue, so it will dry quite quickly as well. Then I've borrowed from another kit, I don't know which kit, it might be, oh, I can't think. But these I'm just going to sit on the edge, you know, just to make it a bit fuller around the bottom. So all I'm doing is pinching these in. If you wanted to add gems and jewels or enamel dots to this off the website, you could do that too. But I always think with Carnation dies, they give you everything you need, especially with the vignettes. You don't need to add absolutely hundreds and hundreds of different bits to it. And like with this, it looks like exploding parcel, if you know what I mean. You've got that lovely detail. Yeah, it's really got that theatre about it. Again, just taking one of the bows, I'm just going to squeeze this a little bit, and this is then going to hide everything at the top. Can you see? So all the joins and everything, that just dresses that. I've got this one extra bow, again to the centre to give it dimension. But with these, you can add as much or as little as you want. You haven't got to really stress about it. And that's what I like. When you can, you know, like you get a bunch of flowers and you put them in a vase, you can dress them however you want. Always think about that with the Carnation designs. You can add in or take away what you don't want. And like with this, I just love it because I've got these extra little white bits. I can just pop those in. That bit's a bit long, so I can just snip that off, take that away. We don't have to keep that bit on there. And I'm going to do the same on the other side just to give it that little bit more fullness. And it gives it a grounding. It gives it so the flowers aren't just in midair. They look like we've dressed the card and we've done it ourselves. So that really does look fabulous. Again, these little sprigs are so useful. These look great on a wedding card as well. So they don't have to be like branches. It could just be like little sprigs. You could add little bits of, if you've got glitter glue and things like that, you could add those to the ends of it too. You could add those in. That would look just as great. And then I've got these holly leaves as well. I think these were from Make a Wreath. I think these are from Make a Wreath. That makes sense. I probably got that one. That's the only one I've probably got right today. And I think the white bits that I've just used, I think they were from Make a Wreath as well. So, you know, for me, that's quite good because I can't normally remember wherever it's from. So just tucking in a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But look how that just slots in there. It looks really pretty. And then the top bit, what I am going to do, let's be a little bit adventurous. And what I'm going to do is just lift the bow up, and I just feel it just needs that little bit of dressing more at the top. So that's just going to blend that in so it all cascades down. So then again, when we bring this up, but like I say, that is from a wreath design, which normally you wouldn't kind of put the two together, but you can see the parcel sits there, it's dressed, it looks like a beautiful gift in a card as it is. So if you're wanting to make something like this, this is your Jolly Holly pop back card shape. It's a lovely collection, something a little bit different, but it's so easy to do. It looks really complicated, but you know what? That is the ease of use of using this die set. It is the Crafters Select choice for you today, so this is really going to give you something different. Check that out as well on the website. Everything is on there, but I'm going to bring in some of the design team cards just to show you, if you've got some of these collections, how well this will work with those as well. So look at this little character. You've got the beautiful bow. They've dressed just one of the sentiments. They've actually not even used anything on the back panels apart from the matte and layer. It's all about the little character at the front. So you can see there, that is a fabulous design, just adding your bows in. Now, if you're wanting to make something more like this for a wedding or something like that, or a birthday card, how special would that be? Because it really, really is. Like I say, these are like a cameo design. So with that, you could have little photos of somebody in it, things like that, a couple's first Christmas, things like that. You know, baby's first Christmas. Let's, you know, make special cards for those special people in our lives. This one's great because, again, it's got a mixture of the berries and everything, so it could be like an autumnal birthday and things like that. But also, we said earlier, because we cut it out black cardstock and the shape it is, you could actually, if you've got any of the Halloween little mice, you could dress it as a Halloween invitation. So again, it spans and stretches over everything for you. Then if you want to have more of a religious connotation, we have got that beautiful nativity scene. And look how that stands proud and forward. But the artwork, it's designed, the size works. So please don't think, oh, I've got these two big designs, they're not going to work. You will find a lot of the designs that you've got in the vignettes. Look at that with the reindeer. Stags, reindeer, reindeer. Let's go with reindeer. That will work beautifully well, like with the pine cone trees that are there too. And it is a little bit like The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. That's what it reminds me of. It's got that mystery about it with that back piece. So there you go. That is going to give you a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of an insight into what you can do with this phenomenal collection. Now let's get to the next one. Now, wow, honestly, approaching 50% of the stock has now gone. So please remember, if you are just joining us, it's not one to sit on. This one isn't. It's the first time I've ever brought you the Crafters Select. So really think about getting it now, because we can't guarantee later on there'll be any left. I'm just saying. So please make sure. Now, with this one, I did get a bit giddy. I'm not going to lie to you. I did get a little bit carried away with this one. So it's one of them you're going to have to bear with me. Now, with this one, I saw this fireplace and I thought, I really, really want to use that. So we're going to use that. Then I got the tree. And the tree, obviously, will sit on there, but it covered it all. So what I did was just measure it up, and then I used the die and I put it on the side to get the edge. So it's like the Christmas tree is the shape of the edge of the card. So I had a bit of a play about, you know how you do sometimes. That bit has got to go on there. That bit's fallen off, but I've got that bit there, and then I've got a piece there to join it. So you'll see it will come together. But sometimes it's about utilising the shape that you have got. And that's what I saw with this one. Again, all the little details, I've like folded them in half so they will fit on the crease, okay? So first of all, what I want to do is glue down my tree. So let's pop this on first. But it's just something a bit different. So even if you've got the biggest, solidest shape and you think, that's not right, just don't be frightened to use, if you're not sure, die cut the die out first in copier paper and then lay your die on. So if you don't want to use your vignettes, I kind of knew what I was doing, if you know what I mean. I could see what I was going to do. And like I say, I just took the tree and then I just cut it away to make it work. But if you're not sure, cut the die out in copier paper. Have a practice at cutting it before you cut your vignette out, and that will give you your template. So do not worry. So now I'm just going to pop this onto here like so. Now I'm not worried about the gap at the top, because we are going to be able to cover that with my bow. But it's to show you how I've got the design that I've got. And I just thought that it was a bit different. So taking this, I'm going to glue the little bits onto here. and just add that little bit of detail in that corner. So that's joining all that piece up already. Then what I wanted to do, like I say, is do a joining piece here. So this is going to go on there. I'm just going to snip that bit away there, and I'll be happier with that. Sometimes it is, you know, you've got to kind of line it up, and I hadn't glued it, so I kind of had the vision. And then I've got this little piece here that's going to just join that little bit. So again, it's creased in half, and that's how I got my pattern, because we're going to have other bits on here, so you won't see any of the joins, but you'll have the colour behind it. So let's do that. So adding this onto here, that is going to sit just there. But like I say, I'm not worried about the joins because you won't see that once everything else is on. I'm just putting that there because that is just going to border it and like band it all together for me. Next up, I have got the hearth and the mantle piece. Like I say, I just took this and pinched this in half, because when my card is then creased and pinched up right, we are going to get this to sit like so. So it really gives it a different look on the front of the card. I am a bit for shapes and things like that. I do see things slightly different. Sometimes people are like, what is she doing? But hopefully it gives you the creativity for you to think, well, I see something different. I want to try, I don't know, you might have a goldfish bowl, you might have a little cat, you might have something, but don't be frightened to ever try different shapes on the fronts of your cards as well. Like with this, you would never thought of putting the fireplace on, but I did. I saw the image and I thought, do you know what? That's just what I need. So again, I'm just popping that on there like so. But it really, because it kind of looks like the back of the fire grate in there. So if you've got, you know, like we did the candle one not so long back, you could put like a little candle in there. You could do whatever you want to. So I'm just leveling that up. So that's going to sit in there. Then we can start dressing this as well. Like I say, the bit at the bottom, I wasn't so worried about, because this little lady who's waiting for Santa to come is going to go across there. So that will actually join that. So you're not going to see that. So always think sometimes what's going over the top of it, but you need a piece just to join it. So I'm adding her just there. He, she, I'm just adding her there. Okay. But can you see now? You're not going to see the join. Then I've got some parcels for this side. And these, again, I'm just giving them a crease so they don't look flat. I tend to like crease it around my finger. And that then will just make it so they look a little bit more formation like that. So this then can sit over this side, on the side of the mantelpiece. So just adding this to here and filling this corner out. But very, very easy to do, I have to say. So all those bits now join. All you're seeing is that little tiny bit in the middle, which makes it look great. Then I've got some of the extra garland bits, but I'm going to put these on the mantelpiece. Okay, so these are going to sit onto here. So again, let's give it a little bit of a shape. This time I'm curving the sides back, but leaving it full at the front, okay? So you're getting that kind of shape. And then we can pop this onto here. So just adding my glue gel to stick this onto here. But all these bits, like I say, you wouldn't normally think of putting together, but once you start playing and, you know, mixing and matching and bringing different bits in, you'll be surprised how you can utilise different bits in different ways. So just let me just crease that down so it holds. Oh, hang on, come on. Play the game. Like I say, they're all a bit, because you've got to think this is dimensional. It's not like a flat card, it is dimensional. So you are probably going to have to give it a little bit of time, shall we say, sometimes for it to, look, to grab and do. That's working, that's fine, I can live with that. And then this piece here, I'm just going to use, let me use a little bit of wet glue as well. And I'm just going to put that and that there. So that hopefully will then hold those pieces. I'm saying so, but you know, who knows? Live TV, who knows? So this is just going to sit like that. So that's like the garland on top of the mantelpiece, okay? So, oh, hang on. I'm going to use a bit of wet glue. I do feel that will give me that instant grab, and then I've got my glue gel for that afterwards. So just holding this in place just for a second, and then what I am going to do is put a little bit, oh, you devil. Look at that. Playing me up today. So just adding that onto there, a little bit of glue under there, and that then should hold. Like I said, we do move quite quick in Teleworld, but obviously you will have, you'll have more time at home. So just holding that still, just so it grabs. Now, I've got my clock. My clock is going to sit on top of the mantelpiece as well. So I've folded it in half because then you will find it will sit better. And I'm just using it around the edge. So this, once it's on, will actually hold, hang on, and support this. Easier said than done today. But like I say, we're working on dimension. Just give it a hold, and hopefully this will then hold onto there. So you've got your clock on the top of the wreath, on top of the fireplace. Then we've got our bow. This is going to hide the join behind there. So using this onto here, that is going to hide that little bit. Okay. Oh, that doesn't want to stick, does it? It is not playing today. There, probably stick to the mat, but it won't stick to me what I want it on. Then I've got these little robins as well. We're going to add a little robin either side. So again, it's about the finishing touches, and I do think Carnation Crafts always do such great animals and pieces that you can use to pop on your card. So I'm just going to add these little teeny tiny robins on. Oh, you little devil. Still not wanting to. Oh, he's going to be sat on top of the presents just there. The other one's flying over to meet him. And then this should stick. So just giving it a second or two. Oh, what is wrong today? Me and glue. We're having a right issue. So let's just hold it. Got both glues on now, and then as we pick this up and turn it round, you can see, and I'm going to hold it because knowing my look, it'll ping and everything will fall off with the glue gel, but there it looks like a fireplace background as well. You've got that look, just something different. So again, it's giving you the idea and the inspiration for you to take it to whatever level you want. So really experiment. I can't wait to see what you all do with it on the Carnation Crafts website, Facebook plays as well. So on Facebook, I'll love to see and have a flick through and see what you've made with it. So get your inspiration on there and join the Carnation Crafts Facebook page as well, because that's a great place to go and have a look at finished samples, but also to see what other people are doing with it as well. So like and share on there. Now, back to the boards, just to show you if you have just joined us. This is your Holly Jolly pop back card shape. I am going to have a word with Nick and the team about the words. I'm just saying there's a lot of words. But I suppose they have that many different designs, they have to make it work. Now, it is a pop back card because with this, you've got that fretwork design. It has got the score lines in. So all you've got to do is literally pop it back. You've got your mats and layers, which are embossed, and they've also got the cut lines in them. So it gives it movement, it gives it dimension. Rather than just being plain, it works so well with the background. Then you've got your sentiment frames or your cartouche frames. You've got multiple ones of that one, which are, if I turn it that way, you can see stackable. So if you want to use one or two, you can. If you want to use them all, you can do that too. You've got your mechanism. This is the mechanism that you can pop on the inside of your card like so. And this then just pushes your image. Oh, I'm trying to show you best I can. There we go. Forward as much as you want it to. So it doesn't have to be inset, it can be outset. So think about using it that way. But as you can see, the beautiful design that is. And I was thinking as well, even if you just cut it like that and add it in red and gold with somebody's initials on it. You know, if you've got the charger plates for Christmas Day on your table and you add that and you just add your napkin across it and your knife and fork, I think that make a beautiful just place setting just on top of your charger plates as well. So have a look at something like that, and that is going to be incredible. For $22.99, it's a big size. You're not going to get a little teeny tiny thing. Look, if I show you, let me pull this out, Pinflair glue. A lot of you know the size of that, the glue. That's the size of the die. So you can see you are going to make Measurements are on the website, so please don't think you're going to get this little tiny one. You will get this full size die for you to be able to use, and it is incredible. 250196 available all on Coronation Crafts website. So let's have a look at this one. This one, I got one of the wreaths again. That was, I really like using them, so I thought, right, we'll have a little bit of this today. So again, taking my wreath, I threaded those through, but this time what I was going to do is cut it, okay, to show you then you can have half on either side. So I'm just going to cut through this. Hope it doesn't all fall to bits, because that was my fear. So we've got the bits like that because I had glued them in on the back and stuff. So I've got the two pieces. So with this, I was thinking you could have it open, but also you could have it the other way, and you could fit it round however you wanted to. Like with that, I could cut it again, and I could have a piece there and a piece there, which I might actually do, to be fair, but you know, it's up to you. Once you've got your die shape, it's going to come out like this. All you do, fold the front bit, pinch it forward, and then it will start to pinch this bit back. So pinch that back. Sorry, I've got glue all over my fingers. And then these bits, just press in on the actual score line, and that will make that go inwards because it's got that score line there already. And then if you want to burnish it with a bone folder or with the edge of your scissors, you can do that, and that's going to make sure then this element stays in your card, but already you've got your shape. Next up for you, we are going to then take our little panels, and like I say, these are an absolute lifesaver because they are cut to size. If you wanted to on your cards as well, I have seen it where people line it up like that, and then if you wanted to, you know, like say if you've got some obviously glue it, but then you know, if you've got some twine, put twine round it, and then obviously you can put your little sticky gems on, so you could actually make your little tree shape at that, and it would be more like modern if you wanted that, yeah, a bit abstract tree. But the good thing is with this, you could then cut it down and make different sizes as well. So I have seen things like that too. So don't be frightened to, again, get your scissors out, have a little play with some, you know, cardstock you're not bothered about, or some copier paper. That's what I tend to do. But you've already got that shape, so utilise that as well. Or it looks good if you have done that, and I would say to you, obviously do it like that, overlap it so that bit fits on there. Put acetate behind it, make it a shaker card. Put acetate behind it, make a little shaker card, and then it just makes it a little bit more funky, a bit more retro. So again, a bit designer, but a different, whereas this is more classic, the actual die set, but by using the elements, you can change it for a different age group and style as well. So, you know, you imagine if you did that in black and silver, something like that, or turquoises and things, you could really, because look, if I did that, I know I've put foam tape on the back, so it may not sit as flush as I want to. You could put your bow on it, make your little Christmas tree. You can make some nice gift tags out of that as well. That would be a different effect. But I'd make a shaker card with it, I really would, and use all the different bits that you've got. So again, just line this up. It's the perfect size, so you know you've got the perfect mat each and every time, which does save you a lot of time and a lot of working out. Because when we do the twisted easel cards and things like that, nothing worse than trying to mat and layer it if you don't get it right. This is perfect alignment every single time. And I love that they've left the gap, because then that makes it fold. It makes it easier to actually, you know, work with, but also it gives it that real polished look as well. Now with this one, I am, like I say, I'm going to cut into this, make it a little bit different. This is where then I start faffing about. So what I'm going to do is just bend this round. So this is actually going to sit at the top. Can you see? So we've made a different look with it. And that's what it's about. It's not always using it as it is. It's changing it up and making it work for you. Because you might have, you know, not enough bits left to make a whole one of these that you printed out. So just use what you've got. So all I'm going to do is take this. I'm going to put some glue on. But these make a wreath are so handy. That is then, because I've creased it in half, that is then going to sit on the top point of there. So just holding that down to give that a little bit of firmness and shape on there. And then, like I say, with this bit, I know then I can go in. And when you're cutting these, obviously with that, I cut it in half, but just try and cut in, out, so it makes it a little bit more textured on the edges, because otherwise your edges are going to be quite straight and flat and you don't want that. So once you've done that, then I know I can stand that one there, I can bring this across, I can stick these bits back on, and then that will dress this side of it. So, you know, they don't always have to be absolutely symmetrical, but it helps if it is kind of a little bit. So this, again, is just a way of showing you, you know, you might have been working on a different project on your desk and you think, do you know what, I want to use that with that. You can. Now with this one, oh, hang on, what is it today? So with this one, because these are overhanging, you've got to bend them up, because otherwise your card won't stand and you'll have issues. So just stand those, fold those back, and then that will give it like little feet. So do not worry about that. So that's just stuck onto there. Now I'm going to take my other piece, which is this one, and we are going to stand this side. So again, a little bit of glue. We're going to add this onto here, and I can rebuild this where I've cut bits out. And again, remember the trick, fold the little bits up so they're like feet, and that will give it a little bit more different shape on the bottom. But I do need to add in my little berries back on that I cut off, so these are going to go back in just to give it that little bit of colour. But nobody would know that that was originally a wreath that I'd made. They will just think it's something that, you know, we've made and done. So again, take your bits out. You might have some really tall long stemmed flowers, just cut them down and add them back in. And you can see with this, let me just take these golden little bits of the buds, or they're not buds, the berries, sorry. Put the berries bits back in there, but then it looks like we've worked it together. Got this little holly bit, leaves, and this is going to be tucked in the front again to join it, to make it look like it's a garland rather than a wreath, and that's going to sit in there. So now that looks like a whole piece. I've got my bow, I've already glued that down. So again, just curve out the ribbons on here and curve this bit here, and that is going to give you that lovely full plump ribbon. But these would look great as well if you just, you know, put them on your cards. It could sit at the side of your card if you wanted to, or you could actually sit it in the back, in the middle if you wanted to, because no, I'm going to put it at the top. But you could actually sit it on the crease in the back, because you've creased the bow, that would actually sit in there too. So then, as we just work this without the glue popping off, you can see, look at that. Oh, hang on. Let's just crease it. There you go. So you can see that's just dressed it slightly different to what we had before, and that's going to give it a different look again. But you've got that fullness there, like say tea light, or if you've got like a candle or something, little battery operated one, pop that in there. These are going to look stunning. They really, really are. Beautiful collection. And like I say, this is the Jolly Holly one as well. Now, bear in mind, I told you a few minutes ago that we were approaching 50%. We are now over 50% of the stock is now gone. So honestly, this is the last show today that I am doing, but this is your time now to start making up your mind. And you know, not everybody's in yet. Once they've done the school run, a lot of people have done that, and a lot of people are coming back from work. They will be in for this, because at $22.99, the Crafters Select, this is a great one to grab, believe you me, because present prices this is, or just a treat to yourself. But you've got something new for your Christmas cards. Are you looking at your Christmas cards right now thinking, oh, they're a little bit samey? Why don't you get a different shape like this? But like I say, cut it in different colours. I think you could get away with using this all year round. And like for invitations and things like that, it's going to be stunning. But you can see the design team, they've all done something a little bit different. Like this one, golden cream, and they've added that detail on the side, like I did that one with it. But can you see, if I bring those in, look how different they both look. Do you know what I mean? So you can change it up, you can change the design. I've used the same flowers, but they look totally different. So you can do that with your fabulous cards. Then if you're wanting to use darker cardstock, make it more of a birthday card, and that's got like the black on it as well. Then if you're wanting to use your nativity scene, you can build it round, because like I said to you with the artwork, snip into it a little bit, customize it and make it work for you. But normally you tend to find with a lot of the artwork here, because it is all hand drawn, like the sizes, the reindeers would fit in even with a nativity scene if you wanted to tuck those in. Everything is the absolutely to the dot with the sizing. Obviously if you've got super size ones then no, but normally like with these, we've mixed and matched these from all different Christmas collections, and you can see it works. You don't have to think about it, just get all your stash out and start making your cards. And at the end of the day, this is just cards and paper. There's no satin ribbons, gems or anything, so it is cost effective to actually make your cards with these kits as well. So if you're still sat on the fence and you're umming and ahhing thinking, shall I, shan't I? Let's have a look at the boards. Let's show you exactly the sizes that you are getting. You are getting large size dies that are going to give you that real presence with your cards. It's going to give you something different. You've got the mats and layers. You've got the frames and everything for your sentiments, or even if you just want to have it stood at the front. You've got your mechanism. If you want to, you know, push it out a little bit more, you can use that on there too. Obviously you have then got your panels, which you can use behind or in front or use them separately. You've got those there too. But once it's cut out, you can see the detail. I've paid more than that just for a plain set of like triangles. For this, to get the fretwork design, the mats, the layers and everything else, that is an incredible deal for you. But remember, this show price only lasts, I think, is it till the end of the week? Possibly till the end of the week, if we've got the stock left, but that price then will just go back up. So if you want to grab this now, 250916, please jump over to the Carnation Crafts website and secure yours. If you obviously get this today, you may be getting this then tomorrow as Happy Post, so think about that as well. That's going to be a great one for you to have. But yeah, don't wait, make up your mind as fast as you can and you can do that. So a fabulous day has been had here, and I hope you've loved this, the Crafters Select Choice, as much as I have. Now I will be back on your screens at Hobby Maker on Wednesday with the autumn sale. I've got 2 different kits. You won't want to miss out on that as well. I'm on at 3 and 7, so make sure you put that in your calendars. But can we just say a massive thank you to everybody at home being part of it today, and thank you so much. We've been really, really busy for this. You've loved it as much as I have. This is your fantastic Crafters Select. So if you want to get yours, jump over to the website, and I will see you hopefully on Wednesday on Hobby Maker. Take care.